minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Let's rock. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned in.
All right, welcome to the Great Minds Podcast. This is Derrick.
This is Vaughn.
And we're here. Happy New Year, everybody.
Word, Happy New Year. You're right. It's the first episode of the new year.
Word. Thanks for rocking with us in 2020 and 2021 as well. So definitely appreciate y'all checking back in. So salute. This should be a fun one.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna go with R&B in the 90s. So let's just clarify it now so that everybody's not coming out our necks. Make sure you go back and check the dates for some of these people. This is from work these particular artists and groups put in from 1990 to 1999. So if you had a dope album in 88 through 89, you're not on this list. Maybe we'll get to that on a different episode. But right now we're focusing on R&B from 1990 through 99. Again, I feel like that's another, doing some research, that's another golden era too. Like,
most definitely.
Say, 90s are the golden era of rap. I felt like R&B the same way. How about you?
Yeah, because they really rapped. Not rap. They really were singing about something. You know, it's kind of like it was different. You had a bunch of different groups. You had a bunch of different flavors. You had a bunch of different movements that I feel changed music and how music is now. Right. I think because of what happened then, kind of went from like the how could you put it, like you were still crooning, I guess you could say, singing like love ballads, and then it went to a point where you start having a hip hop influence that you started seeing more and a lot of that, and I think that paved the way for like a lot of acts, like we'll get into that later, but that paved the way for a lot of people today.
Yeah, I think they were singing. I think the 80s, obviously 70s and 60s, Motown and all those groups laid the foundation down for all that. But great
and better videos too. And better videos.
They definitely take it to another level. All right, so today we're gonna go through top 5 groups, top 5 artists, and top 5 albums of the 1990s. So all right, let's go.
You started off? All right, man.
All right. What you got?
You want to go? You want me to go? I started off. All right. So 5, I got Dru Hill. All right. And we know Dru Hill's been doing that thing. Like it's kind of like a mid-90s group, I would say. Like 96 was the debut up.
Definitely.
So that's one of my favorites. After that, 4, 112. Right? 112 again. Around the same time as Dru Hill. I believe they were about 96 too when that album came out. Number 3, TLC. Yeah, TLC was tough. And I remember TLC from when I was from Ain't Too Proud to Beg all the way up to not the Fan Mail to No Scrubs. They were was huge, and that Crazy Sexy Cool album was crazy. Second, Boys and Men. I think Boys and Men just pretty much they had the best harmony of the decade. It's just one of the best groups of the decade.
Yep.
As far as the perfect group, you put the perfect group together, it's Boys and Men. As far as you got Mike always losing his girl talking to the bass, and you have Wanye and all of them. So definitely, but number 1, you already know I'm gonna say it gotta be Jodeci.
Oh, okay.
Jodeci, my number 1 group of the 90s, man. I just think their fashion, just everything about them, that was something we never saw like that before. You really, even though they were manufactured, for the most part, because Puff, but you had 2 brothers, a group of 2 brothers, right? You had Casey and JoJo, the singers. You had Dalvin, and Mr. Dalvin, and Devontae. Devontae was production, Mr. Dalvin was a writer. So we didn't know that growing up. People were like, yo, you see Casey and JoJo singing and everything.
Yeah, what the other dudes contributing?
That's just their mans they putting on.
Word.
But as far as fashion, I think they paved the way. You saw dudes like them, you would see on the corner with Tim's or Doc Martens at the time, with whatever they're gonna have on, fitteds or snapbacks, and then singing in hoodies.
Right.
And then you see that on MTV and then later BET was crazy to me. I never saw that. So I think that really paved the way for your Jagged Edges, whoever you could think about, it was because of them.
Right.
So those are my 5. How about you?
All right, so number 5, like you're gonna think this one crazy, and I didn't even think they fit into the '90s, but they did when I did some research. Number 5, I got Tony, man.
Ain't no much this and that.
Yeah, so I was just doing my research. Now it had you ask me prior to like it was Tony your top 5 groups. I'd be like, nah. Then I really start listening to some stuff, and I mean from Anniversary, that's gonna be a classic forever. Ever. Anniversary, you got Whatever You Want. Anytime you talk about rain in California, in the rains, Raphael Sadiq is dope. Rest of the group, so I got them at number 5.
Okay.
I had to dig in there, and I was like, yo, they, I did some eliminations, and a couple groups ain't make it because of it, but
yeah, that's a classic group.
Right. Number 4, I got Jagged Edge, man. You got that He Can't Love You. Them dudes are thugs too, man.
Yeah.
You got the He Can't Love You, the Gotta Be, Walked Out of Heaven. I think they were like one of the first, like, I don't want to call them like, they were like the first, like, they were like a rap group that sang, like the way they carried themselves.
They were Jodeci.
Right. Maybe
like, I'm just saying like maybe even more. I don't know. Maybe a little more. Maybe more thuggish too. Like they were like
If you hear like some of the stories or you watch like the behind the music joints, like them dudes was like about that action for real.
Yeah.
So I rock with them.
They just singing. Yeah, I got a quick story about that before you finish. So you remember back when we was in college? You probably remember this. They performed at the State. You remember that?
No.
All right. So they performed at the State. So me, Tone, we were trying to sneak in, and I think Dot was with us. So we were about to go sneak in. They had a sound check. Asked me why. We had a class in the building. It was in the amphitheater, not the amphitheater. It was like they changed it all around though, but it was you said the concerts at. So we go, and they were doing a sound check, and they were singing "Gotta Be." Yo, fam, I really thought it was the record. I swear it was the record.
Was that
and then they were like, "Yo, is that good?" I say, "Yo, that's the record."
Did you get the CD on?
So they definitely can sing though, for real.
Yeah. Number 3, I got Drew Hill. You're talking about, I think their favorite song of mine anyway is April Showers.
Yo, joint is mad slept on. My man Woody. When they gonna let you sing?
That joint is fire. Yo. I remember I was going to a basketball camp at Seton Hall. I might have been like, I don't know, maybe 14.
Yeah.
I got the tape. I got their tape from Irvington Center. Some spot called Scratch Records, and I got some Olas. Because I was going to camp the next morning, and I was, I had that joint bopping in the headphones that night. Yeah.
Never Make a Promise on it.
Yeah, Never Make a Promise. My man Jazz. And then what's another joint like over there? Oh, In My Bed, obviously.
In My Bed. The remix was fire though.
Yeah.
With JD.
Tell me, like, if you don't know how to do dance or you don't know about the dance, I can't even talk music with you.
They're too young for you then.
Number 2, man, Jodeci. I mean, as you said, just to reiterate everything you said, but Come and Talk to Me, Fiendin', Forever My Lady, Cry for You. Them dudes is always fiending to get their chicks back.
Word. You didn't even talk about the solo joints.
Yeah.
Like the Casey and JoJo.
Word. And then they had the Freaking You remix with
Freaking You with the Woo, with Ray and Ghost.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, How Do You Want It?
Yeah. So a lot of joints. So I got them number 2. Boys II Men, number 1, man.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
Love to You, Water Runs Dry, Doing Just Fine, Motown Philly.
On Bended Knee.
Yeah, it hits over hits. So yeah, that's those are my top 5 groups.
I ain't mad at that list.
All right, so we're gonna go artists. I'll start it off.
All right.
Let's go back and forth on this one though.
Yep.
All right, so number 5, I got Janet Jackson. Number 5. Got the Janet album, The Velvet Rope. If you combine like 80s and 90s, Janet will probably be higher on the list, but just based on like what she had during that time. You know, Janet's a legend, obviously. Killed it for probably like 2 decades straight.
She kind of reinvented herself because it was crazy because you had like a little girl, not little girl Janet, but like the quiet Janet. And then all of a sudden, in the 90s, she just changed. You know what I'm saying? She started showing her body more. She started doing more, being more expressive. So that was definitely dope.
Yeah, they branded her well, quickly. So I got her number 5.
All right, number 5. Now don't worry about what she's doing right now. This is about then.
Anytime you got to preface it with that.
Nah, I got Mary J. Blige number 5, yo.
Okay, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I want people to think about power and forget what she was, man. Like Mary J. Blige is different.
Or the Burger King.
A Burger King.
We're gonna go
chicken. Fresh lettuce. Word. Yo, now Mary J. Blige, just as far as fashion, the music, like she was like really like the culture. You know what I'm saying? When her and Puff was together, like she was like every like your aunt. You know what I'm saying? Like she was out there. She kind of spoke for like a lot of like, I would say a lot of like Black women, minority women. You can just tell where she was talking from like she let you see her struggle. And her music is what made her have great music. And I hate to say that, but sometimes when you're having a big struggle like that,
that pain.
The best music, the pain music. You know.
Thanks to KC for that. Yeah.
KC.
Yeah, stress.
Had a stress, and then she had the Mary dance, man. Everybody know the Mary dance. You know, she been doing the same dance 20 years.
Yeah.
so that's my number 5.
All right, number 4. This is about to be crazy, right?
All right, here we go.
I had a list. Again, we're going from 90 to 99. Stuff that I like. Yo, I got Genuine number 4, yo.
Yo, I'm not sleeping on that. Yeah. He went platinum a lot.
he got the Bachelor album.
Yeah.
Which I mean, Pony was good. I was never really into that, but he got the When Dove Fly remix and a couple other joints on there. And then he had the album, I think in like 99, 100% Genuine. It had So Ancient.
Oh, it's tough.
And some other joints on there.
In Those Jeans, right? Was that in that one too?
In Those Jeans, yeah. Genuine had some joints, man. But yeah, I got him at number 4, man. I'm very surprised he made the list, but I mean, when you look at the body of work and like songs that you actually like, you're like, yo, this was, you know. I remember playing the Bachelor album in the basement in my room in the crib. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That album was tough, man. I remember my song used to be Pony though. I used to love that song, yo. When I was younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But all right, my number 4 is Janet Jackson, yeah. My number 4 is Janet Jackson. For everything you said, pretty much, Janet just was like. She was it. Like I remember when she had this, That's Where Love Goes, and If, all those songs. And this is like, and then she was doing little acting things. I don't know. Sometimes I think with a lot of people that it's not happening like what's happening before. You have more people in movies. So what it would be is like you would see like Janet Jackson was in, Poetic Justice. So you would see her a lot. She had a song on that soundtrack that was dope. Like, so you will always see her. So she might not always have the music out, but she was always in your face type of thing. So you always saw her. So I think Janet, like, she definitely had it going on in the 90s. She still does now, but she won't have the music no more. You know what I'm saying? But yes, that's my number 4.
All right. So number 3, I got Babyface. That's my dude, man. You can't, between like the production and This Is for the Cool and dude smooth, man. Had a lot of joints in the 90s. I thought doing the list, I felt like I would have him on there. I just didn't know where. But yeah, I got Babyface number 3, man. He's an OG that's been around a lot of decades. I didn't
Classics.
know. I didn't know whether he fit the 80s or 90s before we started, doing the research. I know he was kind of on that cusp.
Where he was the 80s, but he definitely flourished. Like, he was in his bag in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
So I got Babyface number 3.
That's funny. I got Babyface number 3 as well.
Okay.
I'm number 3. Now, again, people, we haven't talked about this list. This is just strictly just us going through it with you guys right now. So for the same reason you just said, Babyface is my number 3. Never Keeping Secrets. Like his one album he had with Whip Appeal on it. Like my mom used to love Babyface. Yeah. So I think also as you grow up, it's what your parents listen to as well. So like you taking rides with your mom or your dad or whatever, and she's playing Babyface, you can't help but start liking Babyface.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then as I got older, I started understanding like his pen game is like ridiculous. So
yeah, I mean the stuff he wrote is better than the stuff he put out.
Like In the Road, he wrote that. You know what I'm saying? Like
he wrote Johnny Gill, My Mama.
Johnny Gill, exactly. So many songs. So like his like from that 10-year period, he definitely had a stranglehold on a lot of music that we liked. And then the whole Tony Braxton stuff.
Right.
Like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
All our hits. Yeah, definitely.
He's a hit maker. So Babyface is definitely my number 3.
All right. Number 2. Well, I'm gonna just put this disclaimer out now.
I already know what it is.
I do not listen to his music anymore. It pains me not to listen to it because the material is so great. But I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna, if I'm being honest, and I'm not gonna strip away the work that he did and put in, and so I got R. Kelly, man. Number 2.
Definitely.
Musically, personal stuff aside, I mean, he's one of the GOATs, like point blank, period. Pen game, crazy.
Yep.
I don't support any of the accusations, so let's just be clear.
It's strictly music. Talking about
music. But from 90 to 99, I got him number 2. 12 Play, our album.
Yep.
You got the other album with the joint with Biggie on it. I forget the name of it right now. So he had three bangers in the 90s and stuff he did with Aaliyah, and so I got him number 2 musically, music only. Number 2.
You had to see my list. I got R. Kelly number 2 as well. like you can't talk about 1990s without R. Kelly. Like if you try to, you're not being real with yourself, right? So pretty much everything that you said, of course, but just to elaborate. Like, even from when I first heard him, because my parents was a big R. Kelly fans, and my dad was a huge fan. Yep. And then, like, the R. Kelly and the Public Announcement, I had that album. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, he had, like, Honey Love, he had mad hits on that album. Mm-hmm. And then once he shed those guys, like, yo, I don't really need those. Like, I can kind of do my own. Yo, his pen game. My man wrote I Believe I Can Fly, yo. Like, that's a song that's going to play forever.
Even own masters to it.
Which is nuts. He did that, and then he wrote Michael Jackson's biggest song of the '90s, "Is You're Not Alone." That's R. Kelly. Like, you can't sleep on his pen game. He's just a musical genius. But that's my number 2.
Yep. All right, for number 1, I got Mary J. Blige, who was, I mean, she killed it in the '90s, man. Between 411, what's the one? 411. What's the 411?
My Life.
In My Life. Those albums are like, I hold in very high regard in R&B history. Type of stuff she had on there, like Sweet Thing and I'm Going Down, and I mean we could just keep going over and over.
See, I think what Mary did too, to elaborate what you're saying, she kind of made, like, during that time, that's when Puff was in his bag again, right? So Puff found out, like, yo, let's get these old songs, remake them, take the same beats, flip it. You know what I'm saying? And she was part of that team and that group that brought that in when Puff was doing it. And, like, songs were just nothing but hits. Like, all, like, dance, like, from dancing hits to, like, whatever. She had it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yep. So I got her number 1.
All right. My number 1, gotta go Mariah Carey, yo. Right. Mariah Carey.
I get it.
Yo, Mariah Carey from when she first stepped on the scene, for her octaves, her singing, the fact that she can play the both, like, because she was always compared to, like, Whitney. You know what I'm saying? She can kind of play both. Like, she could do a ballad, and then she can go and give you Honey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she can sit there and give you Visions of Love, and then also give you Emotions. Then did a song with, she did Fantasy. You know what I'm saying? With ODB, when nobody, like, she was doing mixes with people, kind of how when Mary worked with Meth, it wasn't a surprise. It was like, that's dope. It's supposed to be like that. Like,
they cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, but when you saw Mariah at the time with ODB, like, yo, how is this gonna work? Like, this doesn't look like it's gonna work. Yeah, so she was able to do that, and then she writes a lot of her stuff. Most of her stuff she writes, and then All I Want for Christmas we played for centuries,
Right.
Like she made a Christmas song. That I think when her album came, every time Christmas comes around, that song goes back on the charts, It's like top 10. That's crazy. So I think I would say my favorite artist of the 90s. I would say.
Right. So, I mean, I feel like it was so loaded. I got to give some honorable mentions.
Word up, yeah.
All right, so Mariah's definitely there, and I also got Faith Evans, who I had probably 6th or 7th, and I got one more. I got Toni Braxton. So those are my 3 honorable mentions.
And Faith used to write for Mary.
I believe it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So all right, my honorable mention for artists, Toni Braxton. Tony was on fire back in those days. You gonna laugh at this one, but he had some joints.
So come on, you don't hit me with the
now Montel Jordan. He wildin'. Montel Jordan has some joints. He crazy.
Well, yeah. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
This is how we do it.
I like. This is how we do it. Trying to think. He has some slow songs too. You sleeping on them?
I'm dissing it. Go ahead.
All right. I got Whitney Houston, because even though she's in the 80s, she had some stuff in the 90s, but she was it was like a weird time. You know what I'm saying? She was doing movies. Yeah, like Waiting to Exhale. You had Bodyguard. She was still making music, but she wasn't doing it like she was. Plus, she had other issues she had to work out, but she still was doing it. Brandy.
Yeah, I had Brandy.
Brandy.
Yeah, I had her on my initial list, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I kind of felt like things. Maybe that was
too young or something.
Down a little bit. Yeah. I had Monica on my list too. She was broken down. And just the groups real quick, man. SWV and 112. So I also had them.
Okay.
And the SWV had joints.
Oh yeah. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. SWV has some joints, and
they might have the illest Woo remix, man.
Oh yeah. Anything. That might be anything that them and Josie. And Josie were freaking you, the two
that's
crazy.
That's a toss up, yeah.
Word.
That anything is tough.
So I have 2 more for the honorable mention. I had Brian McKnight.
Yeah, I had him in the mix.
And then I had Joe. Singing Joe. And then for groups, I had like 6 groups, It's tough. We start thinking about the groups, like, damn.
Well, you lump them too. So you have to start really looking at their body of work to separate it. So
I had an influential group, I think. I had BBD, Bubba DeVoe.
Yeah, trendsetters.
I had Mint Condition. I had In Vogue. I had Next. I had Blackstreet. I had Jagged Edge. And then I had to throw in the old heads. I had to throw in LSG.
You know what's dope about BBD? Like, it's like they took like I won't call them the least talented, but like they took the 3 least talented singers and probably made like the best album out of everybody that besides Bobby Brown.
Besides Bobby, yeah, but can't keep that Bobby Brown joke serious. But you're right.
But Johnny Gill doesn't have an album better than BBD. Only Ralph Tresvant. I mean,
he had sensitivity that was decent, but it wasn't like this. And I'll go into that when we get to the albums one. Like, I think with BBD, the crazy thing about them is that they were able to do something that we didn't see at the time. So, like, I think kind of like how Josie was like the first to do it. I think BBD, as far as I can remember, and I was like 10, but when I started paying attention, they brought in, you had hip hop. So it was really like rap,
right,
and a singer. So you had 2 rappers that could dance or whatever they were doing. You said that the New Edition feel.
Yeah, because Ricky could still sing.
Exactly. So Ricky would always sing the roles, like the singing roles was always him. Others would rap, but they had the hip hop feel. So that was like something that's why they kind of like were so influential to me. And I think it was for BBD, you wouldn't have had Josie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Eventually.
People sleep on Ricky, man. He was singing on one of my favorite New Edition joints. Is this the end?
Is this the end?
My man was singing his heart out by that gate.
Bro, man.
Tell me what. Yeah, he was singing his soul out.
Yo, it's crazy when them dudes said they got home and all they have was like a moped. It's
Yeah,
they got
like, come on, man. That was
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Guys getting jerked, man. I mean, you learn.
Yeah, word.
But now, what's up with your albums, though?
All right, so we're gonna look at number 5. I got top 5 albums of the '90s. This one was tough. For number 5, I got Drew Hill, Into the Drew. You know, I got the April Showers on there, a couple other joints. I got the Alone joint on there. I think 5 Steps are on there too, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I got Into the Drew, man. That's my number 5.
All right. My number 5, I got Poison, BBD. Because I remember being really young and I had an older uncle at the time. He probably was like 17. And he like loved BBD. He would have everything. He had like, you know, every kind of New Balance you want, every kind of Air Max you want. So I would just be like 5 years old, 7, 8 years old, like trying to hang out with him.
Right.
He'd be pumping BBD all the time. I'm like, yo, so you had like Bro Was Me, you had Do Me, you had all these songs, and Poison was the biggest hit. That's like number 6 on the.
Still is.
I know, but that's number 6 on the album.
Right.
Like it's not even like the first track you want to hit.
Right.
And then you had, you know, When I See You Smile Again singing, so they still showed that they could do both. And I think they kind of, like I said before, they kind of changed the way we looked at R&B.
Right.
By taking Coogee Rap and putting him in Poison and sampling his voice and stuff like that. I'm not sure if that was their idea or producer's idea, you know what I'm saying? Right. But they still okayed it, right?
Yeah, word.
And so I think that they really influenced the 90s sound, like what we used to see. So it's like that's my number 5.
All right. Number 4, this is a sleeper album. I got Donnell Jones, Where I Want to Be.
Oh yeah.
That's my number 4. You can sleep on that album. You can sleep on the rest of his albums. Do not sleep on this one. He had the Where I Want to Be. Have You Seen Her? I Want to Love You.
Oh, I Love You.
That joint. And I know the 90s.
All Your Love.
This album is phenomenal. Classic R&B album as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, man, I got Donnell Jones. I ain't really banged with too much after that, but and that came out in '99. So
that was the last joint.
really, he barely made the cut. But yeah, man, I got that joint at number 4, man. I think that's a phenomenal body of work. I'm glad that we doing this episode. I was able to kind of double back and check some of those joints out.
Yo, I still listen to that album to this day. I really listen to more R&B than I do rap. I listen to a lot of rap, but I'm just chilling. I'm doing something. I'm listening to R&B. Yeah, Donald Jones was definitely. Yeah, I seen him one day. I saw him in Teaneck, and he was at 7-Eleven, and I pulled up, and he walked in. I'm like, yo, that's Donald Jones right there. I was like, all right. So he came out. I was playing his album, and when he came out, I had it playing in the car. He was like, he gave me a thumbs up. I was like, good looking. He was mad cool though. Shout out to Chicago. All right, my number 4, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, because that's one of those albums where it's like you just know it's dope, but it kind of teases, is it R&B or is it rap?
Right.
Like, what's going on? But we know I put in the R&B category.
Yeah, it's enough singing
because,
on it.
You know, Zion, all the songs she had on there, that's just like a flawless album. I remember playing that in '98, like I think it came out in the summer or something like that. I remember playing like every day.
I mean, I don't remember the time of the year.
I remember playing it like every day. We're playing. It doesn't matter who you put it on. You could be with your girl and listen to it. You can be chilling and listen to it. It didn't matter.
Well, even the rap stuff was melodic. Like even
Lost Ones.
She was singing on Hook, and you know everything was melodic. She had the joint It Doesn't Matter with D'Angelo.
D'Angelo could be an artist for the '90s.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So that was what, number 4?
My number 4.
All right, so number 3, I got What's the 411? Mary J. Blige. I mean, that's a self-explanatory joint. Now when you listen to Mary, like, I mean, it may not be the best like singing, but like the feel is just like the feel and the pain and the realness for her. You know, for me, it was enough. Like she had, like you said, she had the dance. She had it, man. She knew how to make the song. She knew how to make.
She was it. She was it.
Man. I mean, she made it cool to be like a regular girl that wasn't all made up and wasn't like princessy, and
she was relatable. She's very relatable.
Right.
You
She
know
had
what I'm
that girl
saying?
next door feel, or everybody had a homegirl like that or whatever, or wanted one.
Word, yeah.
So I got that at number 3.
All right, at number 3, I have 112's title album 112, the first album.
Yeah, it's a banger, man.
That album was crazy. From Cupid, Come and See Me, Only You, Your Letter. They have so many songs on it, and a lot of it was B-side stuff. So it was stuff that you had to have the album to really know.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't being played on the radio. This is back when they didn't play, like, you had to have a good album. You could just have singles. You had to have like a real album. You know what I'm saying? You might have a few, like this has like 16 tracks on it. And I think like they had like 3 or 4, maybe 4 singles out of 16. So that means the album still had the whole weight. You know what I'm saying? For you to check it out. So that's my number 3, 112. And that's they kind of followed in the this with Bad Boys. It kind of followed in the Jodeci format for the most part. They were totally different though. I'm not saying that. They were more I think they were more Boys and Manish because they were more like like suited down with certain things and they kind of matched, you know what I'm saying, a little more than like the Jodeci. They matched a little bit, but it kind of was like a wild cannon. So they were a little different. You know what I'm saying? So that's my number 3 is that one.
All right, number 2, My Life, Mary J. Blige.
Love you some Mary.
Her second. That's why I had a number 1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got 2 top 5 albums. I mean, that's enough. I mean, I'm looking at the list now. You got You Bring Me Joy. You got the Keith Murray interlude.
Yeah.
My Life.
All Night Long.
I Love You. Be With You. Be Happy.
Happy.
No One Else. Like,
I'm Going Down, right?
Yep.
Was that one?
Going down. Yeah.
That's a remake, but all good.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. She paid what she needed to pay for it, right?
Word up.
She cleared those samples, but yeah, I got that number 2, man. It was, I was doing it and I was just like, yo, this is 2 and 3, Yeah. That was her second album too, so and she got other dope joints in the 2000s, like the Share My World joint is fire.
Yo, was it My Life? What's the one in 97?
No, My Life's like 95.
Yeah, that was 94, I think. But she had one in 97 that had I Can Love You Better and stuff like that on there.
Share My World.
Share My World, right? That was fire. That one was crazy.
That's why I had a number 1.
Yeah, that was fire.
I don't know who has 3 better albums in the 10-year period in the 90s. That's why I had a number 1. What's the 4 and 1?
I mean, when you start thinking about it, it's kind of tough to match that. Kells.
Yeah. You know what? In 89, she had the Mary album, the one that had All That I Can Say on there.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't as good as the other ones, but for your 4th album of the 90s,
it's tough.
Man, she had a crazy run. So,
all right, my number 2 album is The Diary of a Mad Band, Jodeci. I think that album was serious from Cry for You, Fiendin', What About Us. It just was like I think that's the way they hit their peak. I mean, I think the Hotel, the Show, the After Party was the next one. That one was it too. But like during that little run, I think they really found their bag in their second album. They knew what they was doing, knew what they wanted to do, their vision. And I mean, they probably was partying a little too hard, but the music didn't hurt though. So that's definitely my number 2 album.
All right, so number 1 I got Miseducation, Lauryn Hill.
All right.
And like you said, like it's kind of like, do you call it rap? Do you call it? It's certainly more singing on there, and even the rap songs, I feel like there's singing on it, and I didn't really have a tough time. Like I figured that was gonna be my number 1. I had to fill in the rest of the list, but just dope, man. It's almost like you wish you would know like what she could have done.
If she would have kept on, if she was like,
but I mean, you never
kept on going,
right? It's one thing for like someone like Biggie, he passed away, so it's like all right, he couldn't have done it. But
it's like you still here, like
I guess the other side of it is too, like you don't know what success does to people. You don't know what type of
changes you, man. It's tough. A lot of different stress.
A couple of stress comes with that, and just look at Dave Chappelle, man. How long it took for him to really like get back on his feet and get back on the stage, and all the demons and all the stuff that comes with what people ask for.
Well, like I think a lot of times you're an artist though. I think if you're an artist and you're an artist at something and you're really good at something, I think you're not prepared for what comes with that. You know what I'm saying? Like your gift could be writing or singing or acting or painting, whatever it may be. Dealing with fame is totally different.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And money you might not, if you're an artist, you really don't care about the money. But the money is the last thing. Everyone around you cares about the money more than you do, probably.
Yeah.
And that's the hard thing to deal with. I think, that's why you see a lot of people like flame out. A lot of very talented people just either become reclusive, or they kind of shy away from it, that they don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, because you kind of like, yo, I'm doing this because it helps me. I'm doing it because I'm just good at it. I'm doing it because it's fun. Yeah. And all of a sudden, they're like throwing this money at you. You can't go to the grocery store anymore. It's like, yo, I'm just trying to do something.
Try to go to the mall. Like, nah.
Yeah.
Go to the mall.
Just trying to do something you love. Or on the other side of things, like, just think of like Michael Jackson. Like, this dude was singing in men's bars since he was 5 years old. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't have no childhood.
Yeah,
he didn't have a childhood.
Yeah,
his childhood was when he got old.
If you watch the movie, like his older brothers, they would be like trying to have girlfriends at school and trying to do normal things, and then like, nah, y'all got to go to Cali for a month.
That's not normal. That's not normal life for kids. That's why a lot of child stars or child stars, they either flame out. That's why when you see ones that are still doing good, you're like, damn, like almost happened to Bieber. You know what I'm saying? People like Bieber about to lose his mind because his mom is like at the time like 33, still going out, and he needs to be home with him. Like, who's taking care of him? And I'm glad he was able to catch himself and keep himself pretty much contained. Keep himself good. But yeah, definitely, man. Definitely tough being an artist out there. All right, my number one, man. Number one album in the 90s to me is Boyz II Men 2. That album, I remember.
That's the second one, right? That's right after
the second one. Yeah, I think I was in 8th grade when it came out. And I remember just hearing it and just playing it over and over again. From like, the songs they had on there, man. From like you said, I Make Love to You, On Bended Knee, 50 Candles, Water Runs Dry. I don't think we have seen an album with two bigger songs back to back, like I'll Make Love to You and On Bended Knee, right after each other on the album. I don't think in the history of ever. And then from that, that album is crazy. It just flowed right. It was like the perfect production. Like they had fast songs in there. They had like a thing where they would be. It definitely reminded me of like Motown, right? Because they had a thing where they would be singing but dancing, and it was like upbeat stuff, but they still singing like certain octaves and hitting certain notes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Now I don't think we have seen really since since them like that. So that's definitely my number one album of 90s.
Yeah, just on the side note, I'm not gonna say the person's name. I'm sure they'll hear it though. I had somebody argue with me that said, I'm gonna tell you the craziest thing last. The first thing they said was Drew Hill was better than Boyz II Men. I'm like,
at what?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about
making fudge.
The
fudgery. The fudgery. Yeah, 4-on-4 basketball.
But with that, I'm like, all right, whatever. Drew Hill's one of my. It's not true, but Drew Hill's one of my top groups, so I go with that, right?
Yo, Drew Hill would say it's not true.
Exactly. But I had the same person tell me that Cisco was better than R. Kelly.
At what? Dancing?
being a dragon.
Being the dragon? Better than R. Kelly at nothing, yo.
I say, yo, we out.
You can't talk to that person no more about stuff like that. Yeah. And I love Cisco too. Cisco had a nice, like, even with some of these groups, right, that we listed, people have spun off from those groups. You know what I'm saying? Like Cisco was one of the people that spun off. He had that one album, which was crazy.
Yeah, Cisco was cool. I mean,
yeah, Cisco was cool. He had that run where he was like in like the early 2000s, where it was like, all right, 2000, 2001, like, all right, he's there. But like, no way he's better than R. Kelly. Like,
maybe close.
R. Kelly, R. Kelly can write a song with his toes and it's still be better than Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, you can't say that,
You call it like Toe Twinkle. It'll be a hit.
Right up. This dude writes, produces, arranges songs. Like, how can you,
he can't even read.
Dude, man, I believe I can fly. That's what I'm saying. He can't even read right. You're gonna try to tell me, nah. I heard some funny things though. Yo, when you was younger, did they have any like teen clubs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So did they have like we had like teen clubs where it was like 13 to 18. Like if you was like over 18, like nah, I can't get in here.
Yeah.
So we had a spot.
Definitely. Uh-huh.
We had a spot called Music Factory, and then Soundgarden. It was 2 spots. And I remember, and that's what I'm getting into, like soundtracks for movies. Like in the 90s, the soundtracks were so big where it's like you had a dope soundtrack, like your movie could be trash. But if the soundtrack is dope, like you had Sprung, it wasn't the best movie, but Sprung had Who You With on there with Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying?
Trash too.
I said it might not be good. But then you had like, y'all remember?
Yo, Wait to Excel.
Yo, that soundtrack was ridiculous.
The best soundtrack ever.
Yo, you hear the Navy Festa soundtrack back in the day?
I remember.
It had Touch Me, Tease Me by Case on it.
It
Touch Me, Tease Me by Case. It had I Like Montel Jordan. It had it had a few, like it had crazy songs on there. I'm like, yo, we need to get back to that. But I say it to say this, that we used to go and like Touch Me, Tease Me was like one of the songs in like 96. Like I think it might be my favorite song in the 90s ever.
The dance and that beat dropping alone is just crazy.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell did that beat, but like Case had a good little run too.
Yeah, he your GOAT, right?
Huh?
He your GOAT, right?
Yeah, he the GOAT. Touch Me, Tease Me. Yeah, song.
He had that. Don't sleep on that. He had the faded pictures.
Faded pictures with Joe.
That Joe was fire.
Yeah, him and Joe had like mad songs, right?
Nah, that's the only one I know of.
Oh, they had like 2 joints, yo. Yeah. Him and Joe, I thought. And then you had RL. Yo, because like you remember you had Soul Food soundtrack with the song from Mama from Boys and Men. You had When I Make Love No More by Drew Hill on the Soul Food soundtrack, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what happens to soundtracks, yo. Why, like, you can have a show, a movie with the soundtrack doesn't never come out. I wonder what happened with that.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think Power might have had like a playlist type of thing, but like,
yo, it's not but 50 songs, man.
I feel like shows are more popular than movies now, so that's probably part of it.
True.
Like,
but even then, like, all right, so remember how like, all right, you're right, like a show or you can stream it. You know what I'm saying? But even like I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there, like a Cobra Kai soundtrack. Like someone's gonna buy that soundtrack.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it could be somebody that stream it. Yeah, you're right. Someone's gonna be like, all right, they're playing songs that I remember, and you have it all on one thing. You know what I'm saying? Instead of buying each album, you buy that one thing. You don't really see it anymore. I wonder why, but soundtracks definitely was the whole 90s vibe, though.
Right.
But yeah, man. But I missed those teen clubs in the 90s, though. When I was younger.
Yeah, you're definitely a good time.
Cisco better than R. Kelly. Yeah. That's crazy.
That's good. Yeah, that's crazy.
What, were they drunk?
Nah, I mean that person
completely sober.
Doesn't really vibe with R. Kelly like that. I'm like, all right.
Ever?
I don't know. Know the person too, but I ain't gonna blast the homie like that.
Tell me offline. Because that's ridiculous. That's like blasphemy. Like people be forgetting, like, yo, all right, we're not saying I want to chill with R. Kelly. I'm saying the music is not, like, you can't deny that music, yo.
Right.
So it's nothing that Cisco has ever done that's better than something that you give me R. Kelly's Wax album. It's better than Cisco's best album. Yo, R. Kelly said that Joe sound like something that he threw on the floor.
That's disrespectful, yeah.
I remember he said that, like, something like his joke, like something I rolled up and threw on the floor, man. Like, damn, Kels.
Hysterical.
Nah.
All right. You about to say?
Nah, I was like, thinking about the Cisco thing, man. That's crazy. I got one question for you. Who is your favorite? I'm trying to think. Who was your favorite 90s artist that went solo?
Oh, that left the group?
That, well, maybe not left, but did a solo project. Like, they might did something on their own. Didn't leave, but, like, you know, all left. Well, or got kicked out, whatever, however you want to put it. Of the 90s though, just the 90s. I mean, it's more people in 2000s stuff like that, but it's not.
I mean, I mean, it's still, I would say Casey and JoJo. I mean, I know they're a tandem, but they left the group. I mean, what they did as a I guess like a subgroup of Jodeci, you know, it's not quite up there with Jodeci, but it's close.
Yeah.
A lot of the joints that they have. So I would say them. Who you got?
Yeah, I would definitely say them. But since you said those guys, I would say RL next. Because RL was writing on everybody thing. We Can't Be Friends with Deborah Cox was crazy.
Yeah.
He wrote or co-wrote with that. And he was just on, like, he was just a part of every little thing. Like, because he was down with KG. So he was like doing some Jaheim stuff. You can kind of hear him on some tracks, stuff like that. So yeah, I would say RL for me. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Yeah, how about group? Yo, a lot of groups broke up in the 90s too. Destiny's Child, but you know.
Who would you say just in any era before we wrap up? Who would you say are your top two in R&B history?
Top two artists in R&B history all time.
Yep.
All time. I mean, you gotta say Stevie Wonder is one of them, right? You gotta say Stevie Wonder. And the person I would say, the person I can listen to, doesn't matter what she sings. Like Patti LaBelle, yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what she sings. Like, it doesn't matter.
I think you about to say like Blue Cantrell.
yo, Blue Cantrell had a little joint back in the day. How about you?
I got Stevie and I got Marvin Gaye in a toss up. And that's a mood thing. That's a mood thing. Like they put you in two totally different spaces.
Totally different spaces. It depends it depends on which Marvin though. Right?
Yeah, because you got the political Marvin, you got the political Marvin, and you got the Marvin that was, you know, a sex symbol.
Yeah,
had that type of music. But I would definitely say those two. As far as R&B now, really, I can't say I listen to what we know as traditional R&B.
It's changed. It's changed because now it's like it's more like rap. It's like rap singing, like singing rap. You know what I mean? It's like sing songy, and I think it goes back to like Bone Thugs and Harmony, and then like Mace was doing it a little bit, then Nelly started doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think now it's more melodic. It's not too many singers like that. You have a few that's out there. Like you have like Raheem DeVaughn and people like that, and like you like Anderson .Paak. So,
right.
People like that, but
I say now, I would say my top three that like I'm like going to listen to them right away. I would say Her is up there. Snow Allegra is up there, and Janae Aiko. It was probably my top three. I like SZA too.
SZA, yeah. I would say it varies though. I would say that's a good question. I would say I like Bryson Tiller.
He's dope.
I used to love Neo. Neo used to be my guy. Cause Neo, I basically heard Neo before he blew, and I had somehow I got my hand like a demo tape. Like a friend of mine, she's like, "Yo, check this out," and it was like a reference tape, a CD of Neo, because Neo was a songwriter, and he was writing songs, and then he'll like sing them for people to whatever for placements, and I got that tape. So I started hearing all his songs that he was singing, and I would hear them come out. So I'm like, yo, I heard that song somewhere. Like, who the hell sung? And I'm like, oh, that's Neo. So before he dropped his first album, I kind of had a new idea who he was. So I would say I still listen to Neo. Check him out. I like Jeremiah.
Jeremiah's dope.
Jeremiah. But see, I look at him different though. Like I don't look at him as like. I think I look at music differently now than I did in the 90s. So in the 90s, I'm like, yo, I want to hear like ballads, yo. You gotta be able to hit these certain notes.
You're not really getting those. Now I understand that.
Yeah, like I like my man Ty Dolla $ign. Yo, Ty Dolla $ign, like people act like, yo, like dude's mad talented. Like he's not like a damn Luther Vandross singer or nothing like that.
He's not gonna be Wanye. Like that's not what you're gonna get.
Word. But when you're gonna get a great song, harmonies, he's like he produces a lot of the stuff, so I like him, and I like and Anderson .Paak. That's what those four I was emotion in.
Yeah,
I mean, I was listening to her too, and then Jhené Aiko, I like her, but I gotta be in a mood, yo.
Same.
like sometimes I'm like, damn, I don't feel like being sad today. I'm trying to go to the grocery store. I ain't trying to like get sad in the grocery store like that, but yeah, man.
All right.
That was our view of the night. I can't wait to see what people think about this stuff.
Yeah.
That's Cisco R. Kelly is crazy.
That's y'all hear it. Leave y'all thoughts in the comments, whether it be on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever.
Yeah.
IG, whatever. But catch us on YouTube. Everywhere you can listen to podcasts. Looking for a great year. Moving forward and pushing through. And appreciate your time once again.
All right.
Peace.
Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds think alike. Let's rock. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. 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 Derrick and Vaughn, oh boy, like Cam on a song. Culture safe now, thank God. The panic is gone. Time to heal from the pain. Take the bandages off. You gotta win. The stakes are high like a cannabis bomb. Okay, it's game time. Picture with the balls. That's a FaceTime. Great minds spreading faster than a rumor through the grapevine. Vaughn and Derrick deserve the merit. All salute. It's more than just a podcast. Shows like a movie. Vaughn and Derrick, what up? Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast.